welcome to the channel. This is Derek Stokes for Stoked Living, and it is getting that time of the year. The leaves are going to start changing here for long. It's not going to be 100 degrees, and them deer are going to be moving. And it's one of my favorite things to do is deer hunting. It's peaceful, nice to get out there and get out of the busyness of the world and just relax in God's creation, and then you get to provide a little bit of food for the family. So I'm going to be doing some of that this year. I'm pretty excited about it. This is the first time actually getting out and filming it, other than just doing a few things on my phone before. So if that's something you guys are interested in, we'll be sending it your way. But today what I'm doing is I'm going to go and check my cameras. I'm bad about leaving them up year round, and so I've got to go replace batteries, make sure they're still there. I've had trouble in the past with people taking them. We've got some surrounding neighborhoods and kind of stuff on one side of the property, and then it's surrounded by public land, so there's quite a bit of traffic, people coming in and out of there, just not knowing whether they're on public or private. I'm sure most of them know it, but it's just kind of something you got to deal with. So I'm gonna go kind of check that out and look at the tree stands and make sure that they're in good working order, and check the straps out and replace, well, I won't replace them today, but just kind of get what I need a inventory and see what I need to replace. So I want you guys come along with me, and we will check some of the deer woods out. Okay, I'm making a little detour stop. You guys look on some of my earliest videos. I did one over this pond and kind of added some level there on the pond. I'm trying to get it higher up. Man, this thing, with this drought and stuff here in Oklahoma, you can kind of see this thing is pretty low. A lot lower than we'd like to have it. So I don't know, we might look into maybe digging the pond out a little bit more, but usually we've got a spring kind of running in here all the time, and it's not running. So it's been pretty dry. We've had some rain recently, but sure could have used a lot more. I'm gonna see if I can catch me some fish while I'm here. Well, they didn't bite very good in the pond, so I'm gonna go try the creek and go check on my cameras. So on to the next. Okay, so whenever you're looking for a spot to put a camera, you want to kind of, I mean, some people put it on a food source or maybe a water source. Kind of what I do out here is I just put them on main trails that I can see quite a bit of area. It's not quite the spot that I'm going to hunt, but it just kind of lets me know what animals are in the area and what's kind of going on. So that's kind of how I use the cameras. It's just mainly just major crossings and kind of a big area that you can see quite a bit. So these cameras, the way they work is whenever something comes by there, just off of movement, it triggers the camera and it will take a picture. You can have it set up to where it will video, or it could be a picture. Some of them, they just save it there on a card. Others can send it via cellular signal to your phone. And I've got both of them. I like having both of them. I can get some that are pretty, Tasco makes one that is pretty reasonable in price. Usually you get them about 35 bucks there at Walmart. And they do a good job. They have a good picture. Those don't send it over the wireless signal, but they're just, you just take the little SD card out and then you can read the pictures off of it. The one I use for the sound like a snake. The one that I keep on talking, and I think there's a snake. Something. What is it? No, just no grasshopper. Sorry. The one that I use for the cellular signal is called Spy Point. I think it's Spy Point Link. I think it does a good job. The pictures that you get over the cellular, they're very grainy. You can pay a little extra to get the high quality HD. I haven't done that, so I can't speak for how well of a picture that is. But I've got it sitting up here. You can kind of see it. Link Micro is it. There's that guy. And it does a good job. I've actually had a little bit of trouble out of my first one that I got, and I had to send it back, and the customer service for Spy Point did a really good job. Very pleased with them. And then I had another camera that got stolen last year. It's kind of aggravating, but it's the way it goes. But so the way they work, and Spy Point, if you want to sponsor me, hey, I'm all about it. But I'm not getting anything from them. I'm just telling you that's what I use. The way that they work is they have a plan for like $5 a month, and they send 500 pictures. Well, if you have it set up like on a food source, like corn on the ground, you're gonna go through them 500 pictures pretty quick. But if you have it set up on a trail, you're just kind of getting stuff passing through, and it kind of gives you representation of what's in the area, a pretty good representation. So if it's on a trail, do the $5. If it's not on a trail, look at doing the unlimited, and I think it's probably like 15 bucks a month or something like that. That's for a camera. So anyways, I'm kind of rambling on. There that guy is, and I put him up there because my last one got stolen and it was about chest high and too easy. So I'll put it up there, and that's where it is. So that's just part of it. The next thing that you have to watch out for on these cameras, okay, you want to have it where you can see the area that you want. I mean, you're wanting to take a picture of really good, but then you also have to watch out for false triggers. And that can happen with maybe a blade of grass that can trigger it. Leaves, a vine. I've had a vine before, I really went, when it would really start wind blowing, it'd come from another tree and it would trigger it. So you kind of want to have a good field of view that's not going to be obstructed by limbs and leaves that will do these false triggers. If you look at this one right up here, I've got this branch right here would cause problems. So I want to take it down also. So I've got to get up there and change these batteries out. The batteries seem to last probably about 2 to 3 months. That's if you're just doing the 500 plan, picture plan, where you're just taking a few like that. If you got it set up on a corn pile, you will go through the batteries pretty quick, so you'll have a lot of pictures. And you can space it out, like if you want a picture every 1 minute or every 10 seconds or something like that, and that kind of goes off, helps your battery life also. So okay, so I got the batteries changed out on it. It's ready to go. Took that tree limb down, so that's good. This is that other camera that I really like these guys. If you go to Walmart, you can find them there. They've been pretty bulletproof for me. I know I've heard of some people having problems with them. Me personally, I haven't had any problems with them, and I've got probably 5 or 6 cameras of it. So they seem to work really good. So I think Tasco is the brand of that. So another thing, whenever I'm going through here, I'm looking at the oak trees and seeing if there's much of an acorn crop. And this tree usually has quite a few on there. There's not much of a acorn crop at all. I'm not seeing much of acorn crop, so it might be kind of tough hunting this year. Not really tough hunting, but it might be tough on the animals. But I might be out here a little bit early too. It might be hard to see, but I don't look pretty good. Well, no, that tree's got some acorns on it. Yeah. You guys can see. Yeah, so that tree's got some acorns on it, so they're pretty small. So it might just be a little bit early. Okay, so this tree stand right here, this is one of our main tree stands. We really enjoy it, and it's a muddy tree stand, 2-person. And still got the straps and stuff on it. Well, I'll get me a batch of straps and put some new ones on them. But it's looked like it's in pretty good shape. So that's a good brand of tree stands right there. With the canvas, it's got a canvas bottom, kind of sway bottom, and they're pretty comfortable and pretty sturdy tree stand. So Muddy makes good stuff. One thing I've always wanted to try, and I just never got around to doing it, is Cactus Jelly. Out here on the land, we have lots of cactus on a certain part of it. I'll show you. Right there they are. And you can kind of see they're all through here. I don't really want to get off the full wheeler because I'd get them all over me. Them things are bad when you get them on you. Just a little bitty microscopic little spines on them. And not the big ones. See, you can kind of see those big ones. But there's little bitty devil spines in there. They're pretty bad hombres. But I think they call these like the yellow rose of Texas. I think that's where that comes from. I'm not sure. You guys can correct me on that if you will. But they have a yellow flower on them. You'll see the bloom out. And then that bulb will get kind of cherry red on there. And I think you make jelly out of that. My grandma Stokes, she would make it, I believe. I don't know if I ever tried it or not, but I'm going to try it this year. So if you guys know some good cactus recipes or something like that, send them my way, and we'll try it out. I'm always nervous about walking through here this time of the year because the little snakes are out. So this is a spot that I have fed salt here for years. And something about this time of the year, the deer, they really like to come to salt. Something that they really crave. And I've always put it kind of right here in this area. And they'll paw at the ground. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can almost see like some salt crystals in there. It might be sand too, I don't know. But keep putting it year after year, and they keep coming back to this area. And they really like the salt. Sometimes you can put these things down and they'll wallow out a great big hole and just keep digging at it. They haven't done that here. I'm not really sure why. We have a lot of sulfur wells that has a lot of salt content in them, so they might get a lot of their salts from there also. But this has been a pretty good little spot. I don't hunt right up here, but it's just another one of those travel corridors that I like to catch a lot of pictures of. Here's this old camera here. All right, here's another one of my tree stands. Me and Philip, we really enjoy this one right here. Does a good job. We've had a lot of success out of it. This is where I had my other camera and it got stolen up here. Kind of a bummer. If you're out there and you're watching, and you got it, just bring her back. But I know you're not watching because everybody that's watching is cool and you're not cool. So we just consider that one lost. Well, I'm just glad it didn't take more. Still it's kind of a bummer. Well, four-wheeler kind of messed up on me. Couldn't get it to shift and I turned it off and I really couldn't get it to shift. Now I can't get it turned back on. I've got to have some wrenches. So, bad thing about it now is that cuts my deer hunting camera stuff short. But I'm gonna get a little bit of exercise because I've got a little bit of a hike. Okay, so I'm walking back to the house now. I got about 1.5 mile walk. Probably, I don't know, about a mile. Depends if I get lost or not. I'm lost. This way it goes. Shouldn't have turned the four-wheeler off. I couldn't get the thing to shift. I think when the battery gets weak, the electric shift on the four-wheelers doesn't work properly. So that might be the case with that guy. But anyway, so I'll guess I'll just sit here and I'll just talk with you guys on the way, so I'll keep myself company. It's kind of weird. I feel like I'm, whenever I first started these YouTube channels, it felt like I was just talking to myself all the time. But not anymore, because I've got a lot of friends out there that leave some very nice, kind comments. I really appreciate it. So I got someone to talk to now. Before I was just talking to my mom. I think she's the one that watched it. No, I'm just joking. This is some of the prime hunting area. Whenever I was a kid, I started hunting up here probably when I was about 12 or 13 years old. And I just loved deer hunting. I loved being out there in the woods. And my mom and dad, they would drop me off, and I just spend all day out here. And we got this great big hill, and it was my grandpa's, and we just walk this thing constantly. We thought deer hunting was something you just go out there and you just keep on walking, and you jump up a deer and you say, oh, I've seen a deer, you know. But it seemed like we were just chasing tails the whole time. Never could hardly make it happen. Every once in a while we would. Me and my brother David, and then my cousin Alan, man, we'd walk this hill all the time. It was so much fun. We really enjoyed it. It's very blessed to have this property that we can do this. But it was a lot of fun, and got to spend a lot of time with my grandpa. I didn't have cell phone back then. I'm trying to date myself. And if I'd kill a deer, I'd walk all the way back to the house, just about like I am right now. And my grandpa, he'd go to bed with the chickens, and I'd wake him up. Hey, grandpa, I got me a deer. So he'd go get his overalls on, and no, he wouldn't wear overalls. It was usually like a khaki pant. And we'd hop in usually it was a tractor he'd grab, because we put it in the front of the front bucket of the tractor, bring it back, and we'd skin it. had a lot of fun doing that, and it's a lot of memories out here. Well, one of these days, kind of my master plan, I would love to build me a cabin up here on this hill and just kind of start a little homestead up here. I don't know if there actually be a homestead up here or not, or just kind of a getaway, but I think that'd be pretty neat having a cabin up there. I really like this area, but it's kind of a drive. The whole thing is the access getting back in here. You'd have to build quite a bit of road and stuff. But maybe one of these days I'll be able to build me a cabin up here. All right, I'm gonna make a little cut through here. I didn't plan on walking. I planned on riding the four-wheeler, but I knew I was gonna get off the four-wheeler, so I put me a little bit of bug spray on my legs, but I just kind of focused right around my ankles. Well, I've been walking through some higher grass. I'm wearing shorts. See, a little vulnerable. Here in Oklahoma, this time of the year, we have a thing called seed ticks. And a seed tick it's not really like a big seed. I'm trying to think how you would, like if you ever planted a lettuce, it's way smaller than like a lettuce seed. I don't even know what kind of seed to compare it to. But if you ever get seed ticks on you, which I think I might have right now, if you ever get seed ticks on you, you'll see it, and it's just like a little bitty cloud, like dust, and it'll just start spreading. And whenever you see that, first thing that happens is your heart sinks right in your chest. You get sick of your stomach. Next thing that happens is you think, okay, what am I gonna do? And you think of any kind of anything that could be like really, really bad that would kill anything. You want to get that on you. But you really don't want to do that, but you're thinking in your mind, you're like, I've got to get these things off of me. So you're jumping in the water, you're trying to get these things off. And once you see them on you, it's game over. You're picking these things off of you for days to come. You're scratching, itching. It's just a bad deal. Your wife has to get up close and personal. It's just, yeah. So stay away from the seed ticks. Next thing that you need to stay away from is this little thing called a chigger. Now they're microscopic, and if you ever look in a microscope at a chigger, it's red, has little horns on it, carries a pitchfork, and comes straight from Hades. They are bad. No, I'm not really sure what they look like underneath the microscope, but you can't see them, but you know that they're there. But you only know that they're there until like a couple days later. Because what they do is I think they burrow into your skin, and they're inside there. Then your skin reacts to it, your body reacts to it, and it'll kind of have like a little blister pocket that kind of comes up. And it's like your body's trying to get rid of this chigger. And it itches, oh, it itches so bad. And there's several people say different ways to get rid of the chigger. I don't know what's the right way, but I just can't help it, and I'll just scratch and itch, and it's bad. So I'm telling you all these things. I'm preparing myself to know what's going to come ahead for the next week. I'm sure I've got seed ticks. I'm sure I've got chiggers. It's just the way it goes. I'll know next time not to turn that four-wheeler off whenever it's not shifting. Alright, we're getting closer. We're probably about the halfway mark. You guys have been really good company also. Made it go by quick. This right over here is the old homestead where my dad grew up. There behind that big tree, that big walnut tree, there's an old foundation and stuff where the house was. There's a cellar, a well, I believe, and you can kind of see a little bit of the remnants of the foundation. Now, this is where my dad, his brother Randolph, and his sister Melinda, that's where they grew up. I'm not sure what year it was, but Grandpa ended up building the house down here at the front, and that's where they finished through school and stuff. But this is where they were born and raised, kind of right in there. There's my old deer blind, got blown over. I've got to clean that up one of these days. Whenever I walk through these places, I get different memories. And one of my earliest childhood memories is coming right through this field, through this gate right there, through here. And me and my cousins, we were in the back of my grandpa's truck. He had an old black Ford, old feed truck. And Grandpa, he wasn't the most careful with us kids. It was just kind of like survival of the fittest. And I remember he took off through this field, and I wasn't really paying attention, and I lost my balance. We was didn't have a tailgate on the truck, and I lost my balance, and I fell off that thing, and I just remember rolling, and dust and stuff get all my eyes, and I get up and I'm just running after Grandpa in that truck. It's just funny how different things jog your memory whenever different places that you're in, whether it's smells or hearing different songs, how it can just jog your memory and you think about these things. It's amazing how many things you just have logged back in there, and it just takes a little thing just to trigger it, and man, there it is, and you remember it. So that was a fun memory, rolling out of the back of the truck, getting all beat up. You know, walking around here at my grandpa's, you're just always thinking, here you're gonna become walking around the corner, you know. It's just, you always saw him out here. He was always out here with the cows and working and doing different things. And sure miss the guy. He was a good man. He worked for a telephone company, retired at, I think, age right around 50, and he was a preacher also. He was a Free Will Baptist preacher. I think it was a circuit preacher. He would take and load up the family. They had a little Volkswagen Beetle, and they would go to different churches. It was kind of a rotation. Dad always told me about all the different little small country churches that he would go and preach at. Quite a legacy. Here's the old bridge. I can't remember this. This right here got broken off. A tree fell down on top of this railing. But this bridge has been here ever since I can remember. The old bridge is down here. It washed out years and years ago. Well, I made it back. I'm here on the home stretch. You guys have been pretty good company. I mean, it's kind of a one-way conversation, but I'm sure you guys are going to respond here soon. Well, this probably does it for the day. Philip's got some football practice. I'm gonna go do that. And today was the first day of school, so I'll get to hear everything about school. Pretty excited about that. The kids are growing up on me, man. It's crazy how fast it goes. Well, I think this probably does it for the day. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for being a good company and good sport and coming along here with me. Hopefully you might have learned something about, deer hunting, and then what not to do. If your four-wheeler's messing up, just let it keep on running. And then learn a little bit about my legacy, the family traditions and memories down memory lane. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks again, and we will see you next time. Bye.